Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I want to talk to you something a little different, and that little different thing will be the Taurus Millennium G2 pistol. Now for this review, let's get a couple things out of the way. I'm going for the casual shooter point of view. What is the casual shooter? The casual shooter is someone who doesn't either have the time, lots of money, or maybe even interest to invest in guns, okay? But you do want to shoot. It could be for self-defense, or like in my case, I'm going to the range with a buddy today, so we're going to go do some shooting, and you don't want to spend a lot of time and money and energy into it. So, with that in mind, we're not going to get into hardcore specs. We're not going to worry about how it compares to like a Sig Sauer 223 or a Glock 19. Let's just look at the facts like, maybe like, how does it weigh, how well does it work? How does it work? Do I even like it? And, would it be worth your interest? So let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, first, like I said, it's the Taurus Millennium G2. I bought mine at Field & Stream. Now, that's kind of important because these pistols can run from up to about $300 to as low as I've seen online for $209. And I wish I paid more. I went to Field & Stream, so I ended up paying a higher price. But, when you buy this pistol, first I should tell you what you get with it. You're going to get one magazine, two magazines, an you got your box here with the big Taurus bull and logo on it. You will get, your instructions, of course. Handgun Safety Act notice. I'm in the state of Kentucky, so we get one of these, etc., etc. I will have to say, let me put my magazine back in here. Okay. And as you can see, this is a subcompact pistol. Okay, that's kind of important because if you're in a concealed carry, or if you're into maybe you like trying to stow it in your backpack or something, one of those concealed carry weapon type of deals, this is a good option for that, I guess. It should also be mentioned this holds 12 rounds. So as you can see here, I have this one loaded already. So the 12 rounds is kind of important because see how wide the magazine is? That also means your pistol grip here is going to be wide, and that could be good or bad depending on the situation, how you want to set this up. For concealed carry, maybe you think this is too wide and you want something slimmer. But if you're like, hey, I just want to put this in my concealed carry backpack, like a Maxpedition or something, hey, that should work just fine. And of course, you got like your little dots and everything here. Now let's talk about some of the things why I bought this. So I was looking at relocating in the States, and I figured, well, if I'm going to be relocating, that is, and moving back here with my family, and even if I'm just here for a while, let's get something cheap so I can go out and shoot. Because in Korea, I cannot go shooting, except for indoor ranges that are very expensive. Here in Kentucky, hey, I can go outside to my friend's house or go to a local range and have some fun. So I don't want to spend a lot of money, so I bought this. I was looking in between this and like a High Point brand 9mm pistol. And quite frankly, the guy at Field & Stream sold me on this. And I gotta say, it's pretty nice actually. I do like this pistol. It is well balanced. That's one thing I like about it. Having I think to the best of my memory, the only thing I shot before this was a Beretta 9mm, the Beretta M9mm Army issued. And on that one, it worked well. But it's like the front of it would always kind of like hang down. You had the, the balance was always like the weight was in the front, so it's kind of like always going like this. With the Taurus, the weight is even, if you will. So when I aim, I don't see my pistol going like this. I don't have to fight that. So that's pretty good. It's got good balance. It feels really good in your hand. But as you can see though, I would say my hands are like medium size. Okay, I don't have like super huge hands. If you're a person with large hands, this just may not be for you. Keep this in mind. From a safety perspective, as you can see, you have a safety. You have the double pull trigger, so you got to pull both of these back before you shoot. And to really make it safe, and I think this was for the state of California it was done, you have this loaded wind up. So right now, I have no bullets in here. But if I take this off, rack it, now, don't worry, my finger is off the trigger. See how that sticks up? It's loaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it to safe, unload, get that out, Look at the weapon. Okay. Double check it. Safety back on. There you go. Okay, so it's now safe. And we put the ammunition to the side. So it is pretty cool. This brand or this model gets a lot of complaints from people, and I think one thing you might want to look out for, and this is one of the complaints, is the brake on this pistol. So the brake is this. Watch this. See my finger? How far I have to pull back? Again. What that means is like you're downrange. You're not downrange, but you're shooting downrange. You're looking at your target. You're pulling the trigger. You're like, hey, when's it gonna shoot? When's it gonna shoot? When's it gonna shoot? Now it shoots. That can throw you off. Okay. Getting on it. It's just something you got to train with. I mean, if you think you really need accurate, I don't know. Well, here's what I'm trying to say. It can be overcome, but it takes time to get used to it. Something like the M9 has, I think, 7 pounds of pressure, and so it would be about right here. I could pull it and fire here. I'm like, wait. So I would say it's up to you to determine whether that's a deal breaker or not. But other than that, I have no issues about this. Now, to take this apart, let's look at how to disassemble it. It's like a standard semi-automatic pistol. You have this on the side, and what you're supposed to do is make sure that you have to have the safety off, because you got to have the safety lever here. So what you want to do is push these down, which is kind of hard because I got it on the camera here. Bear with me a second. Okay. So rack it back about 1/4 of an inch, maybe more. Now, what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to be able to rack it forward, but here's what I found. That's not always works. So if you pull the trigger, it'll come off. But by the book, in fact, let me lay this down and show you the by the book explanation on this. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at the literally by the book instructions on how to disassemble this weapon. Going by the book, step 2 here tells you, hold the pistol in the right or left hand in such a way that 4 fingers rest over the slide and the thumb rests on the rear of the grip. Using the fingers, draw back the slide about 1/8 of an inch. With the other hand, pull disassembly latch down, release slide, release disassembly latch. Honestly, when you're judging that 1/8, like hopefully you could see right here when I was doing that, it doesn't always work exactly by the book. So if you'll just take a moment to pull the trigger, it will slide the upper receiver forward, and that's when you can just disassemble it really quick. That's my way of disassembling this gun, and it doesn't hurt the mechanics or anything. Now, let's talk about ammunition. Okay, so I have used 3 different brands of ammunition. I have used Blazer Brass, which I don't have that box for, sorry. Remington, and Federal Ammunition. For you casual shooters, I would recommend staying away from Blazer Brass brand. It is cheaper, but it smokes a lot more. You will literally be shooting. You'll have the gunpowder and stuff on your hands. It blocks up the weapon more. I had a lot of weapon jams and double feeds with it. So after I expended all that, I switched to Remington, and the Remington shot a lot better. I only had it jam up once. I would say like a double feed once on it. And so, much better. Then number 3 is the Federal Ammunition. And I would say it worked as well as this. And that's a good point here. Someone's going to say, wait a minute, if your weapon's, having a double feed or something, you're thinking, dude, I don't want that. And you know what? That's something where I need to get this weapon out more and find out. Is it an issue with the weapon? I mean, is it just got a design flaw where it's double feeding, jamming too much? Or is it the ammunition I'm using? With the Blazer Brass, it was a lot of problems. So I would say it's the ammunition. But if I'm shooting like 2 magazines and at one time out of that it jams, that really is too much. Because if I use this for self-defense, of course I have to have reliability. I can't, what do you want to say? Can't hope that it works when you pull the trigger. You got to know that's going to work. So just for food for thought. Alright, so this is just a casual review and discussion about this weapon. You know, let me give you my final thoughts. For the casual shooter, especially if you're just into range target, you know, just something for fun, go for this. Because even at the range, if it jams, who cares? It's not a big deal because you can just rack it, clean it out, good to go. You can always play with ammunition. It's good to go. It's affordable. It is not the cheapest weapon on the market, but it is affordable at in between, like I said, $209 up to $300. Do your shopping before you go buy it. For self-defense, obviously it is a gun. It throws out bullets. It will kill people. It will work. However, I would definitely do your reviews. Like, let's say, do your homework on this. Maybe even take one for a spin to make sure the reliability works well. I have seen other YouTube reviewers, and they've taken this thing out of the box, shoot it, and it's like no issues whatsoever. But yet I took mine out of the box and shot it, and you know, double jams, double feeds, whatever. I've oiled it, lubed it up a lot. In fact, you might even see where I got like oil and stuff on here. And so when I take you to the range today, let's go see how it works this time. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave your comments. Any insight you have on this, please let me know. I'm not coming to you as an expert. I'm coming to you as, you know, we're like learning this together, okay? So let's have fun and have a great day. Out. Hello, everybody. Well, I went to the range today, like I said I would. And so I just want to talk about how it went, just to finish up this video. Alright, so check this out. Before, I was using 115 grain ammunition. But I wanted something with more kick, something with a better range, you know, that could get better distance, more accurate distance. So I went and tried this 147 grain ammo. Now this is hollow point ammunition. I don't have any left, so I can't shoot what the hollow point looks like. But it was hollow point ammunition, and just so you know, hollow point ammunition is more expensive than full metal jacket. Now the ammunition itself, you know, it was accurate, did what we wanted it to do today. But there's one thing I want to show you. So at one point, let's open this bad boy up. We had a casing get jammed right in here. In fact, here's that casing. It was the very casing that got jammed. So it was doing what was called a stovepipe, where it was just stuck in there. It had expanded. We shot the round, but this casing was stuck in there. And it took a couple minutes, it took like a minute or so to get it out. Now, this goes back to what I said before. It seems like every time I'm firing this thing, I'm getting one jam. I don't know if it's the ammunition or what. In the case of this, let me get this really zoomed up here so you can see it. We kind of suspect that it looks like this expanded. Like, really expanded a lot and got stuck in there. I don't know if that's because the grain was too high, but that seems to be what happened. If you're more of an expert shooter, you can look at this and see for yourself. But other than that one time, the ammunition worked fine and the weapon worked fine. In fact, my friend liked it so much, he wants to buy it from me. So, I'll probably be selling it to him. And I'll be getting a good price off of it too, so that's pretty cool. But I just wanted to follow up and let you know how this worked. And since it's going to be time to clean it too, you know, you want to clean your weapon after every use, right? I'll disassemble it like I showed before, and then I'll go about cleaning it. But anyway, that concludes my review on this. I mean, this weapon has a nice feel. I would say it's fairly accurate. I like it. You know, if you're looking for something affordable, like the $300 range or less, I think this gets the job done. And, man, it's just got a nice solid feel. Just except for that one jam or so, that's the only thing that bugs me about it. So, hey, have a great time. Enjoy your, you know, go out there, get some shooting in, and I'll see you next time. Out.